What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Clouded Thoughts of Wrestling, episode 9, with me, your boy, Sway Jose. Today's episode, we're going to focus on the G1 Climax Night 1. Happened Dallas, Texas, American Airlines Center. Good show. I watched the whole thing. Before we really get into it, I want to tell you guys, keep up the support, man. Thumbs up, subscribe, anything you can do to support the channel. Keep checking me out. I'm going to keep covering this wrestling the best I can. And I appreciate all the love and support that's been given. And I'm going to keep banging out these wrestling videos. Also, check me out. Check out the on Facebook. I got a Clouded Thoughts of Wrestling page that I created, man. It's everything wrestling. I got some good highlights on there. I got some AEW, some WWE. It's a good mix of everything on there. Some videos or whatever. So go check that out. Also, and plus, if you just, aren't able to watch certain matches, or you can't watch certain matches for whatever reason, or you don't want to look up whatever that I'm saying for whatever reason, man, you can go to that page and you can just check out some of the stuff that I got on there. It's really, really, really good. Got some interviews. I'm going to start putting some interviews on there. I'm going to keep building the page up. I really haven't been on it today. That's not good. So I want to try to, probably after this, get on there and upload some things. Because a lot's been going on in the wrestling world. G1 Climax. That's what we're going to talk about today. Sorry if I kind of leaned up out of the screen. That's what we're going to get into. The G1. It was good. I watched the whole show, like I said. And don't really want to focus on the tag team matches at first, even though they had the competitors that will be facing each other in the Block B, Night 2. They were like in tag team action against each other. That was cool. Got to see some action between Ishii and Jeff Cobb. That was really cool, man. After I was able to see Cobb at Ring of Honor, best in the world, live. So that was really cool. Got to see Jushin Thunder Liger on his farewell tour and all that. They had Naito because he's going to be facing Yano, and Shango because he'll be facing Juice. And so that's how they kind of did the matches, and they were good, man. I watched it all. I even watched the start with the Gorillas of Destiny taking over Show and Yo. As the Gorillas of Destiny were able to pick up the win in tag team action, your IWGP Heavyweight and Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. So it was a good show all in all. We're going to get into what we really want to get into, and that's this G1 Climax. I've been excited about it. It's finally here. It's finally going down, and it started off good. It really started off good, and for the way it started off, I'm really looking forward to watching this thing progress and watching some of these matches, because they are really going to be good. And this is good wrestling. This is really good wrestling. I enjoy watching, like I say, New Japan singles matches are probably my favorite. They're some of my favorite things to watch because of what these guys are able and capable of doing inside the ring, and that was showcased in Dallas. And the crowd, it's not like they sold out the building or anything, but the crowd that was there, they were really, really live. It kind of reminded me when we were at Best in the World pay-per-view. The crowd wasn't a big crowd by any means, but we were live and we were loud, and I really enjoyed that. So sometimes, the crowd makes a difference, but the crowd that was there, they were really, really into it and into what was going on. And hopefully, I can see them, selling out more in the future, because it's good wrestling, man. It's a good show. Like, they're coming closer. Like, they announced that there's a Fighting Spirit tour that will be hitting the East Coast. Boston, Massachusetts, at the Laurel Memorial Auditorium, New York at the Hammerstein Ballroom, and in Philly at the 2300 Arena. So maybe I can try to, and that'll be the 27th through the 29th. They'll be in Philly on the 29th. Maybe, if my pocket's looking right, I might try to slide up there and see what's going on with some New Japan, because I know that they're going to put on a good show. We're going to see some good matches. So, it started off, Block A, we had Lance Archer against Will Ospreay. Now, Will Ospreay has been on fire as of lately, and if you don't know, if you're into wrestling, like you're really into wrestling, then you would know that this man, Will Ospreay, is amazing. And he's been on a run. He went up against, and he wants to, before I get into that, I want to say that he wants to test himself against these heavyweights. He won Best of the Super Juniors. He was able to beat Dragon Lee and win the Junior Heavyweight Championship. So he's now in the G1, enters the G1, and he's really trying to show himself. I like how on commentary they play the fatigue factor with Will Ospreay. You're going to hear that a lot throughout this G1 Climax. I mean, the guy put on two 5-star matches in the span of like 4 days. So, I mean, that's going to play a role. He also had a classic with Robbie Eagles that went 30 minutes. They mentioned that on commentary. So they played that. Also, the size factor. I like the story that was played with the size. Lance Archer, man, he's a big guy. Didn't really watch a lot of single action with him. When I seen him, he was running with Davey Boy Smith Jr. as a tag. But he kind of got a new look. I guess it's kind of like a new start for Lance Archer. And it wasn't bad. There was a point, Ospreay hit a shooting star press and then a Robinson special. I like that Robinson special, man. And the way his move execution is so awesome. Then Os Cutter was next. He thought he had the pin, but Archer kicked out at 2. Archer now had Ospreay in a muscle buster, slamming him to the mat as he pins Ospreay. Ospreay kicks out at 2. Archer then goes for a blackout, goes for a pin. Ospreay kicks out at 2. Then we had a claw to the head. I'll get into that in a little bit. From Archer to Ospreay, and he is able to go to the ropes for a rope break. When the referee tells Archer to break it up, Archer comes back with some foul words towards the ref. Both men are now on the top rope with the Spanish fly, and Archer falls to the mat hard. Ospreay goes for a stormbreaker. A reversal comes from Archer, then a spinning hook kick from Ospreay, and Archer are now on the top rope, and he jumps him on the second rope to the knee. Excuse me, say that again. Ospreay and Archer are now on the top rope, and he jumps him on the second rope to knee Ospreay on the third. Archer goes for an iron claw. That's what ends the match. He got Will Ospreay with the iron claw for the victory. So I don't like the iron claw. I'm not real big on the iron claw. I laugh at it because it's something that I do for like fun, like messing with the kids and stuff. Like, oh, it's the claw, and it's funny seeing it like these guys do it in the ring. And I don't know. I was talking to a guy at work, and he was saying like it may be cool, like maybe if he like lifted him up with it or something. I don't know. I just don't. I'm not big on it. And then I'm like, I'm not mad that he beat Will Ospreay. I'm just the finish just wasn't all that good. Not that the finish wasn't good. I don't like that he beat him with that move. That's just my opinion. But it was a good match. I like what I saw to Lance Archer. He had choke slam Will Ospreay early in the match through the table. It was also cool as the match started. Lance went to like kind of charge Ospreay, and then Ospreay had like a Spanish fly. Excuse me. Will Ospreay is phenomenal to watch. Like, he is definitely one of my favorite wrestlers to watch in a ring because the guy is just money when he's in the ring, and he is awesome. Lance Archer gets the 2 points. It's going to be interesting how they play the fatigue factor with Ospreay. I feel like he's still going to have a good showing because even in loss, the guy still looked good. And that was a big win. I think that was a really good, big win for Lance Archer. And we'll see. We'll see how this G1 pairs with him. Next match, we had Evil versus Bad Luck Fale. Take this match, like I said, for what it was. It wasn't nowhere. You could say it was probably the weakest match of the night. I would say that. But depending on the two guys, knowing that Bad Luck Fale in it, I was surprised that it went for as long as the match went for. Fale leaves the ring, brings in several chairs. The ref takes away one of the chairs, and as he does, Fale brings in another chair, only for Evil to big kick the chair into him. Fale goes for a grenade, succeeds, but only gets a 2 count. Pin from Evil with the referee out after a kick mistake from Evil. He brings in the chair to attack Fale, but it's too late as Fale low blows Evil. Fale puts a chair around Evil's neck and gets another chair and hits it. Fale goes for the Bad Luck Fall, which gets him the win. So basically, I mean, that's how it ended. Fale up to his tricks, with the low blow. But it was crazy because Evil was the one who originally introduced the chairs to the match. He brought them into the match. And Fale was the one that ended up using them. Yeah, he had stuck the one chair on top, like on Evil's head, and he used the other chair and took a little baseball swing at it and then hit him with the bad luck fall. But bad luck Fale picks up the 2 wins. Bad luck gets the victory. Like I said, it wasn't a bad match for what it was. I was surprised that it went that long, especially with Fale known to like he had 6 disqualifications last year. But I mean, he starts out with a win and with 2 big points. Now I'm not saying I don't think Fale's a hot pick to win this G1, not at all. But he's going to cause some problems and some upsets for some of the bigger guys in this tournament. And we had Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Sonata, and I finally got one right. Now, I had Will Ospreay over Lance Archer. I was wrong. And I had Evil over Bad Luck Fale, but that was a match that at first I had Bad Luck Fale winning, and then I changed it to Evil. So that was a match that I really was unsure, but I got a victory right here. Sonata was able to pick up the victory over Zack Sabre Jr. This was a very good technical match. There was a lot of grappling and submissions and countering and submissions, but I also liked how they were able to throw in the striking in there a little bit, and I also like how Sonata was still able to show his athleticism, because he's extremely athletic, and it was nice to see him being able to get as technical and be as technical as Zack Sabre Jr. And I like Sonata, man. Sonata's definitely one of my favorite superstars, my favorite competitors over there in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Sonata goes for a TKO, and Sabre kicks out at 2. Next is a moonsault press from Sonata. Sabre is able to move out the way. Sonata lands on his feet. Sabre puts Sonata down with one of his signature moves. Sonata goes for another moonsault press, and Sabre traps him into a triangle hold. Sonata is slowly fading, but then is able to get to his feet and push Sabre off. Sonata does a moonsault and then the skull in. As Sabre goes for another submission, Sonata is able to reverse it into a bridge pin, getting the 3 count. So that is how Sonata was able to get the victory and the big 2 points over ZSJ. Zack Sabre Jr. attacked the ref and then tried to put him in a triangle hold after his loss. He was pretty upset, and I like this. This was a really good technical match. People can say what they want about these kind of matches. There was one we watched at Ring of Honor Best in the World between Jonathan Gresham and Silas Young. I feel like this was better than that one, and but I like that it wasn't like there was still some striking in there. We still saw like the moonsault press from Sonata. I mean, it's just guys is really good and really athletic, and I like Sonata, and I want to see him definitely have a good run in this G1 Climax. I've been wanting Sonata. It seems like he's been really tied up a lot with the tag teams, with Evil. Now I know he faced Okada in those finals, or Tanahashi, in the finals of the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. But I feel like more of a singles push for Sonata, man. He's really good. He's really, really, really good wrestler. Nothing against ZSJ, because ZSJ's awesome as well, and I like how they got to show his style. And I like ZSJ's style. I like how fluid he is in transitioning into his holds and his submission moves, and how he can get out of other guys' grapples and holds. And I really enjoy that from ZSJ, man. He's one of the best, if not the best, out there and doing it. So that's why this match was really awesome. Will I tell you to go back and watch the match? Heck yeah, I tell you to go back and watch the match. I'd tell you to go back and watch Lance Archer and Will Ospreay also. But my man got a victory. Goes out, walks out with 2 points for Sonata. That was a really good match. I really liked that match. I really enjoyed it. ZSJ had made a comment, but I feel like the comment he made post-match was more being following up his heelish ways. He was talking about how the crowd, I guess, really didn't seem like they were into it, into the match, but it seemed like they were to me. I mean, when I watched it seemed like they were, so that's why I feel like that's ZSJ playing up on his heel. Next, we had Kenta against Ibushi. Now, this is Kenta, formerly known as Hideo Itami from WWE. This is his first match in New Japan, and it is in the G1 Climax against a guy who I think could win this whole thing in Kota Ibushi. Now, I had the match ending in a draw because I definitely did not see them having Kenta lose in his first match. I just didn't know how they felt with giving Ibushi his first loss here. but it makes sense because giving Ibushi his first loss here, I don't think it's going to hurt him depending on how he's going to be played throughout the rest of this G1. I like what I saw out of both guys. This was a striking match. This definitely was two strikers being strikers, and I enjoyed it. Got to see the power of Ibushi as well. And Kenta looked good. He looked good in his first match outside of since we seen him in the WWE. And I didn't think he looked bad when I seen him last in the WWE. I really didn't. Now, I can understand why people say that WWE didn't really go in on him. You know, the injuries definitely played a part. But I seen him in one of the matches that really stuck out for me when he was in WWE. And I know there's a bunch of them, but it was when he was in NXT and he was going against he had that match against Aleister Black. That was a really damn good match of two really good strikers. So I was definitely interested to see how he would play against another good striker in Kota Ibushi. And it was good. And they really complemented each other well. I feel like at the start of the match, to me now, it seemed like, you know, Kenta, don't want to call him that no more. Kenta was a little, you know, it was his first match, you know, outside, and, you know, the nerves were there. But he definitely left immediately. The crowd was really behind it. The crowd was split at a time where there was chants for Kenta, and chants for Ibushi. So that was real cool. I really enjoyed that, and it was a damn good match, a match that I definitely also recommend you guys go check out. Ibushi he had Kenta in a crucifix position, but then Kenta kicked out at 2. We had some double clotheslines engaged by both opponents. They were both down on the mat. Kenta and Ibushi exchange hits. Now they're both on their feet. They continue to exchange hits, and a few leg kicks are in the mix too, so they're just really going at it. Kenta goes for another pin, and Ibushi kicks out at 2. 2 kicks right to the head happen, back to back from Kenta to Ibushi. It's good stuff, real good stuff. Kenta pulls the GTS to go to sleep when he picks up the 2 points in the victory over my man, Kota Ibushi. So I didn't have him losing, didn't have no one winning, so I guess that's a prediction that I still got wrong. But like I said, man, I guess I should have stuck with my first predictions, and I really shouldn't have really got into the thinking of it. Because I had Fale beating Evil, and I did have Kenta winning this match at first over Ibushi, but then I changed it because I feel Ibushi, if I would go at it right now and say right now who would be my top pick to win this year's G1, I would go with Ibushi. And I will get to my reasons why tomorrow. I will tell you guys my reasoning why I think Kota Ibushi could win this year's G1 because of elimination. Now, there's a couple of guys that have a shot, but I feel like my system of how I kind of eliminated each competitor and reasons why I don't really see them winning per se, and why I feel like it's Ibushi's time, you know. And that's just my opinion. I don't know. Like, tell me what you guys think. If you checked out G1, who you think's going to win this year's G1, and what are some of your predictions? But to me, man, I'm a guy that I'm going to go with Kota, not just because he's one of my favorite wrestlers out here, but because I just feel like it's his time. You know, what bigger way to really put this guy on than to have him win the G1. Next, we had Okada against Hiroshi Tanahashi. And this was a good match. I would recommend you guys go back and watch. This was a point where both guys really went out there, and the crowd in this match, they were really, really behind. Excuse me for 1 minute. I'm going to grab this water bottle, guys. All right, thank you. There was a point in time where the fans, they were really, excuse me for that, guys. Apologies. You know, I left my phone, not on the desk. There were times when the fans, not even times, the fans were just pumped with this match, and Okada is the IWGP champion. Now, Tanahashi is the last year's winner of the G1, and he formerly was the IWGP championship before he lost it to Jay White. So I was excited to see this match and the way they played it and how they talked about these guys not really facing each other a lot. And I believe the last time they faced each other, and I don't really quote me on that, I believe it was like in 2017 in the G1 when these guys really went at it. So it was definitely exciting and it was a feel. And I can't remember the last time I really, from watching New Japan, I can't remember the real last time that I saw these two go at it. Okada picked up the win. It took 3 rainmakers to pick up the win for Okada as he picks up the win and he picks up the 2 victories and the match. And like I said, this is definitely a match I'd recommend you guys really going back and see. These guys really went at it, and you can, in my opinion, I think this and the Ibushi match were were definitely the bigger matches of the night that were played. So for that factor, I would say definitely G1. It was good. If you haven't seen it and you didn't watch it, I would recommend, you guys go check it out. If anyway, it was on Access. So definitely go back if you missed any of these matches, and if you're not on it, or if you just want to check out some different wrestling, you know, um, other than like a WWE or even NXT, because New Japan, what they bring is something that's definitely different, and it has a different feel to it. So definitely, I would recommend you guys definitely go check out the G1 Climax. We're gonna get to the conclusion right now. Sorry, my computer had died on me, so I had to. That's why it might have been a little bit of slip up, whatever. But we're gonna get to how this match concluded. Tanahashi tried for another sling blade, but Okada countered into a backslide. He rolled through, held on to Ace, and delivered a Rainmaker. A second followed, and Okada tried for a third, but Tanahashi countered into a small package for 2. A Dragon Suplex netted the same result. Okada recovered, delivered a jumping, spinning tombstone, and finished Tanahashi off with the 3rd Rainmaker. Like I said, it took 3 Rainmakers to put down Tanahashi. So that looks good. And Tana looked good. Tanahashi looked good. They were, there's always them talking about his arm and what kind of role. That's always going to be something that the commentators are always going to mention in any kind of match, about why he wears the arm bandage, or he likes it, but also he wears it to cover up, that scar on his arm. So that's something that's always going to play a factor. But in my opinion, I didn't think it played much of a factor in this match, and I like how these guys really went out there, both of them put on the show. And Tanahashi, like I said, I like the way he looked. And Okada looked good as well as the IWGP champ. He addressed the crowd after the match, saying, next time he'll come back in fall, he'll be the G1 Climax winner. So that it was cool. It was a nice show. To sum it up, like I said, I would recommend you guys definitely go check out the G1 Climax night 1. Night 2 it's a week away. So we will get into week 2 is going to be good, man. You got some good matches. Go back, check out episode 1 of Clouded Thoughts of Wrestling, where I go over night 1 and night 2. So that's going to be good. Tomorrow I'll be back with some more New Japan, more Japan predictions. Excuse me, trying to get that out. We'll talk about. I'm probably gonna go into some more predictions, and I'm gonna go over who I think are my favorites to win Block A and Block B and possibly end up in the finals. And I'm going to do a quick little review of TNA Slammiversary. That was a really, really good show. If you guys have not seen it or not watched it, or if you haven't, if you've been hearing people talking about how good it is, because people have been talking about how good it is. And I will agree with those people who said it was a really good wrestling show to watch. So really go check out TNA Slammiversary. I'll be doing a little something on that tomorrow, along with a little New Japan Pro Wrestling rundown. Also, man, it's a busy week. Again, we're going to hit you with some AEW. We got Fight for the Fallen. And we also have WWE Extreme Rules. We'll be getting into that, talking a little bit about that. And then we got NXT. We'll be dropping some, another NXT episode for you guys. So that's what I have. That's the things to look forward to this week, and what I'm going to be bringing to you guys this week. Like I said, we have another good weekend of wrestling on our hands. And it's great to be a wrestling fan right now. But I'm Sway Jose. It's getting late. I'm getting tired and wore down. Conquer your goals, live your dreams, spread that love, spread that peace. This Clouded Thoughts of Wrestling, and we out.